I don't want to be judged by the worst thing I ever did. And I think, we have a lot of people that make decisions. They're bad decisions. They impact people. People die. My dad is no longer here. Those decisions, probably the worst decisions those people have made in their life, that does not define them. That does not define their family. You just experience heartbreak. It's heartbreak all around. Like, our family was broken, but you see the brokenness of the other families, and in that we're all, that's like a shared experience that is just very real, and you just want more. You want more. Like, I want more for those people than what our system gives them. Like, I want more for their families than what they have gotten, So I'm from the Toledo area. Kind of the running joke is I was born in Toledo. I went to school in Toledo. I did my graduate stuff in Toledo. Now I work in Toledo. And now I am a father of 7. Been married to my wife for 17 years. I'm a pharmacist and teach pharmacy at the University of Toledo.
I am a recent widow. I have 3 biological children, a stepson from my marriage. I'm a therapist, and I'm also in school. I'll be finishing in September to be a licensed substance abuse counselor. I guess I can't leave this out. I am a licensed minister as well. Javon has always been so unique. Not a person of many words, but a very deep thinker. He has a big family on both sides. It's a lot of people that are affected by this. It's one thing with family, and then he has fans. But people from every side of town like him and love him. So everything that we have had thus far, it has been unity. I just want it to always be something that's unifying and not causing division, even though it was so tragic, what has happened. I still don't want it linked to him or his family or anything that it was something to bring division, but I just think his death is in his own way bringing unity as much as it can.
So my dad, Joe Lengel, growing up he was my kind of superhero. Growing up as a kid, in the way he just modeled for me kind of what it means to be a man, how to care for your family. To me, he was always my sounding board. So the person I knew I could call if I needed to talk something out, if I needed advice or wisdom. My dad was the first person I'd call. But he was also the person that I typically would just call, driving in the car and want to talk to somebody. I'd call my dad and just see how he's doing, see what he's up to for the day. And he was just always there. I think he was that for a lot of people. So especially, going through his death, when he passed away, seeing the way people responded to his death. It's just a weird thing, because people would look at me and say, oh, I'm so sorry, because I lost my dad. But I think my dad was a father figure to a lot of people, because he was just there for everybody and kind of approachable. People felt like they could share anything with Joe. And so when he passed away, a lot of people lost somebody that was really important to them. And I think seeing the way people grieved and the loss that they felt was very significant for them. And they would feel bad wanting to share their loss with me, recognizing I had lost my dad. But just to me, that always spoke to who my dad was as a person, that he was a rock for a lot of people.
He was in such a good place, the best place that I've ever seen him spiritually, with his music, with just him being a father. Everything was just lining up and everything was becoming perfect. He was basically trying to still have a studio here because he wanted to help up and coming artists. Because he said, Mom, I'm getting older. I'm not gonna always be doing this, but I wanna help other people that's coming behind me and be able to give them what I've learned, and some things that maybe I went through they won't have to go through in the industry. I think he would still be pursuing that. He would be excited about this CD that just released. He would be excited about that, but I just know that I feel he would be in a happy place, because he was in the most, I had never seen him so happy.
I mean, what he would be doing, so I think, I mean, 9 years ago, but I would assume he would still be a very physically fit human being. And I imagine like the people that he would have impacted, I know there would be a ton of people that would have stories of what Joe was doing or had meant to them in their life, going through a struggle. It would be funny to see him old. Because he would, I know now he'd be, close to getting to late 60s. So just an old man Joe Lengel would be something. So
I'm not foreign to being in this kind of environment because I try to be there for people that's going through these kind of things. Even the children, we look at the parents, but what about these babies left behind? If you look at the generation now, that's the killings, the abandonment, all of these things, look at these babies that's coming behind. So I just want to be a voice and someone that can help anyone walk through this, that we could walk together, not me ahead or me behind, but just that we could walk together to just try to figure out how to become a better city.
My dad died. He's a victim of gun violence. He's no longer here, and kind of all those things I talked about previously, like a lot of people experience that loss, so he's not here anymore. But like, what is justice? Like, I've wrestled with that, and 5 people were convicted of his murder and sentenced to jail. On one hand, people would look at that and say, well, justice is served. I struggle with that because it's, what do I want as his son? Like, I want my dad's death to have meant something. Like, 5 people sitting in jail doesn't bring my dad back. I think through the process of kind of the court proceedings and seeing criminal justice system at work is, my hope would be, not that 5 individuals went to jail and served time, but that 5 individuals were able to interact and receive help and reform their lives in a way that allowed them to interact with society in a way that is better. Like, that to me would be justice. Like, that 5 people could learn and grow and be dads and be a part of their community, and like that there would be meaning in that to me for the death of my dad. If my dad had to die so that 5 people could realize that and grow in that and kind of grow into the people that they are and could be, like, that would be pretty amazing to me. Dee
Dee is just a voice that's speaking for a generation that some of us may not understand. And sometimes it takes a person that has the microphone to be able to express what other people that don't have a microphone are really saying. He came with a very close-knitted family, love, support, religious. He's been brought up in church, he loved God, all of that. But a lot of things that he experienced and a lot of people around him, they don't have that. And so sometimes it's a person that's speaking for somebody else that don't have a voice. So I'm grateful that he was able to be a spokesperson for this city, so that maybe instead of us judging what he was saying, we'll just hear the cries of a whole generation and a city that really is crying out for help, and maybe we could try to help them.